By 2050, it's projected that 1 in 6 people worldwide will be over the age of 65. This unprecedented shift represents more than just a change in demographics. It's a fundamental transformation of how we live, work, and interact. The global population is aging, driven by two main factors: increasing life expectancy and declining birth rates. As a result, societies in both developed and developing countries are witnessing a rise in the proportion of older adults. But is this trend purely a challenge, or does it also present unique opportunities for societal evolution? Consider this. A longer life, once viewed as an anomaly or luxury, is now becoming the norm. What does this mean for society? How can we restructure our economies, healthcare systems, and social interactions to welcome an increasingly aged population? In this documentary, we'll explore how the aging population is reshaping societies, by looking at the ways it opens up new avenues for progress, innovation, and growth. In countries like Japan, Italy, and Germany, over 20% of the population is already over 65, with Japan leading at nearly 30%. Japan's demographic shift has been so pronounced that it's been dubbed the world's first super-aged society. But Japan is not an outlier. Many other countries are quickly following suit. For instance, by 2050, 28% of Europe's population is expected to be over 65, and the number of older adults in North America is steadily rising as well. Meanwhile, countries like China, which implemented strict population controls through its one-child policy, are now grappling with a rapidly aging population that will soon exceed 400 million people. This means China's elderly population alone will be larger than the entire current population of the United States. What does this mean for the future of these nations? One effect is that societies with aging populations will need to adapt their infrastructure and economic policies to support a growing number of retirees while managing a shrinking workforce. But this also forces us to rethink traditional ideas about aging. Is retirement at 65 still realistic? How do we broaden our thinking about the role older adults play in society? Do we have a better opportunity to learn from their experience? Imagine a world where the majority of a country's population is over 65. What kind of products and services might thrive in such an environment? Would the focus on entertainment, fashion, and technology shift toward health, longevity, and wellness? How would societal values change? Thinking about these questions opens our minds to the possibility of a future where age is seen as a force that's steadily driving societal transformation and how we think about the world. The phrase silver economy refers to the economic activities driven by the needs of an aging population. With older adults living longer, healthier lives, their consumer behavior is evolving, and businesses are beginning to cater to this demographic more actively. Reports suggest that the global silver economy is expected to reach a staggering $15 trillion by 2025, covering sectors like healthcare, financial services, leisure, and real estate. Traditionally, older adults were expected to retire around the age of 65, stepping aside to make room for younger workers. But today, many are staying in the workforce longer, either because they want to or because they need to. In fact, older workers often bring a level of experience and stability that is invaluable to industries like healthcare, education, and even technology. Interestingly, data from the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, shows that older workers aged 55 to 64 have increased their participation in the workforce significantly by 10 to 20% over the last decade, depending on the country. These older workers aren't just staying in the workforce, they are often taking on mentorship roles, transferring knowledge and skills to younger generations. Industries are also shifting to accommodate the specific needs of older consumers. For example, in healthcare, wearable technology that monitors vital signs like heart rate, glucose levels, and sleep patterns is being developed with older adults in mind. Meanwhile, financial services are evolving to include products tailored for retirement planning, long-term care insurance, and estate management. The travel industry is also seeing growth among senior travelers. Older adults are more adventurous, more affluent, and more independent than ever before. They seek experiences, cultural immersion, and opportunities to learn. For instance, companies now offer slow travel packages where older tourists can experience new destinations at a more leisurely pace with considerations for accessibility and comfort. Another exciting trend is the rise of entrepreneurship among those over 50. A 2020 study from the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor found that people over 50 are one of the fastest growing groups of entrepreneurs. These seniorpreneurs are launching startups, often leveraging their years of professional experience to innovate in areas such as technology, healthcare, and education. It's worth considering. How might economies be different if we embrace the idea of an entrepreneurial renaissance among older adults? Could aging populations actually become engines for economic dynamism and enrich social systems? While much of the conversation about aging focuses on the challenges, there are considerable benefits, often referred to as the silver dividend. Older adults bring years of accumulated experience, both personal and professional, which they often share generously with younger generations. Studies have shown that older workers, for example, are less likely to switch jobs frequently, providing stability to organizations. Beyond the workplace, older adults contribute by mentoring younger people, whether through formal mentorship programs or informal family roles. Take, for example, the global phenomenon of grandparents as caregivers. In many countries, grandparents have stepped in to help care for grandchildren, offering not only childcare but also mentorship, moral guidance, and cultural continuity. This dynamic fosters a deeper connection between generations and strengthens family structures. Older adults are also the backbone of many volunteer organizations, contributing their time and expertise to community-building efforts. According to a study by AARP, adults over 55 provide more than 3 billion hours of volunteer service annually in the U.S. alone, contributing an estimated $77 billion in economic value. This high level of volunteerism among older adults helps sustain nonprofits, community programs, and local services that benefit society at large. It also highlights the profound sense of purpose and social contribution that many older adults continue to experience well into their later years. The notion of retirement as a period of disengagement from intellectual activity is rapidly being replaced by a focus on lifelong learning and accomplishment. Universities, both traditional and online, are catering to older adults who want to continue their education, explore new subjects, or acquire new skills. For example, the University of the Third Age, U3A, is an international movement dedicated to the learning needs of retired and semi-retired individuals. With more than 5 million members globally, U3A emphasizes that learning should be enjoyable and accessible at any age. These contributions suggest that older adults, far from being sidelined, play vital roles in the intellectual and social fabric of society. Transforming urban spaces, age-friendly infrastructure. As populations age, urban planners are rethinking how cities are designed to accommodate the needs of older adults. To promote mobility and independence, cities are implementing features like wider sidewalks, more pedestrian-friendly crosswalks, better public transportation, and improved signage. Consider the Age-Friendly NYC initiative, which has rolled out more than 90 programs aimed at making the city more navigable and enjoyable for older adults. These changes don't just benefit the elderly, they make cities more livable for everyone. There's also growing interest in universal design, homes that are built to be accessible for all ages and abilities. These homes include features like single-floor living, adjustable kitchen countertops, and wider doorways to accommodate mobility aids. Such designs are not only practical for older adults but also make homes more flexible for all generations. Accessible parks and recreational areas are essential for promoting physical and mental health. In many cities, urban planners are creating age-friendly spaces where older adults can exercise, socialize, and connect with nature. Research from Stanford University shows that access to green spaces significantly improves both physical health and mental well-being, particularly for older adults. The transformation of urban spaces demonstrates how we can create environments that foster independence and inclusion for all ages. Strengthening intergenerational bonds. A cultural shift. The aging population is creating new opportunities for intergenerational relationships, shifting family dynamics and cultural norms. In many cultures, particularly in Asia, multi-generational households have long been the norm. In countries like Japan and India, grandparents often live with their children and grandchildren, providing both emotional and financial support. This arrangement benefits all parties. Older adults receive care and companionship, while younger family members benefit from shared responsibilities and closer familial ties. In Western countries, multi-generational living is making a comeback. As the cost of housing rises, more families are choosing to live together under one roof. A Pew Research Center study found that in the U.S., the number of multi-generational households has increased from 12% to 20% since 1980. Outside the home, intergenerational programs are fostering connection between young and old. One notable example is the Intergenerational Learning Center at the Providence Mount St. Vincent Care Center in Seattle. This innovative program brings together preschoolers and elderly residents for daily activities such as music, art, and storytelling. Studies show that these interactions benefit both age groups. Children develop empathy and emotional intelligence, while older adults experience improved mood and cognitive engagement. These intergenerational bonds help combat isolation, a major issue facing many older adults. The Harvard Study of Adult Development, one of the longest-running studies on happiness and well-being, found that strong social connections, especially those that bridge generations, are key to living a long, happy life. By fostering these connections, we create a more cohesive and supportive society. Cultural and social shifts rethinking aging. Societal attitudes towards aging are evolving, moving away from the stereotype of aging as a period of decline. In media and advertising, we're seeing a shift toward portraying older adults as active, capable, and empowered individuals. Brands like Dove's Pro-Age campaign challenge traditional beauty standards by celebrating aging as a natural, dignified process. Similarly, fashion brands are increasingly featuring older models, showcasing that style and self-expression don't diminish with age. The World Health Organization promotes the concept of active aging, which emphasizes that aging populations can and should participate fully in social, economic, cultural, and civic affairs. This idea has inspired governments and organizations to develop fitness programs, hobby clubs, and social events that keep older adults engaged, both mentally and physically. Imagine a society where age isn't a marker of decline but a badge of honor. A world where growing older means expanding your knowledge, your skills, and your contributions to society. What kind of policies would support this vision? What changes would we need in education, healthcare, and social norms to fully embrace the idea of active aging? This mindset encourages us to rethink what it means to age and what it means to contribute to society at every stage of life. Shaping policy and governance for a gray society. An aging population requires significant policy and governance adaptations. Governments are already making adjustments to pension systems, retirement ages, and healthcare funding to ensure long-term sustainability. In the United Kingdom, for example, the state pension age is gradually increasing to reflect longer life expectancies, while countries like Sweden and Norway have introduced flexible retirement models that allow individuals to work part-time beyond retirement age with corresponding pension adjustments. Older adults are also becoming a powerful political force. In the United States, for instance, voters over 65 represent a large and engaged bloc, influencing elections and policy decisions on issues such as healthcare, social services, and taxation. The growing influence of older generations will continue to shape governance, particularly in countries with aging populations. To address potential workforce shortages, some nations are revisiting immigration policies. Countries like Canada and Germany are attracting younger immigrants to fill labor gaps, balancing the demographic equation. This kind of policy helps maintain economic productivity while addressing the care needs of older populations. Policymakers must involve older adults in decision-making processes. Engaging this demographic ensures that their needs are considered and that policies reflect the lived experiences of the people they affect. Through careful planning and open dialogue, societies can effectively manage the effects of an aging population while fostering greater inclusion and resilience. Harnessing technology and AI for aging populations. Technology has the potential to greatly enhance the quality of life for older adults, particularly in healthcare and daily living. Devices like smart home systems can monitor older adults' health indicators, detect falls, and even remind them to take medications. These technologies allow older adults to live independently longer and provide peace of mind for their families. For example, products like Amazon's Echo and Google Home are not just entertainment devices, they also serve as assistive tools. With voice-activated technology, seniors can access information, control their home environment, and stay connected with loved ones, all without needing to use complex technology. In countries like Japan, where care worker shortages are a significant concern, robotic companions are being developed to assist with tasks and provide social interaction. Robots like Paro, a therapeutic robotic seal, have been shown to improve mood and reduce anxiety in patients with dementia. These technologies don't replace human caregivers but complement them, helping support overworked staff while providing comfort to older adults. Telemedicine is expanding healthcare access, especially for those in rural areas or with mobility limitations. During 2020, the use of telehealth services skyrocketed, and studies show that older adults, once unfamiliar with these technologies, quickly adapted to using them for medical consultations and mental health services. As we move forward with these innovations, it's crucial to balance technological convenience with ethical considerations. How do we ensure that technology serves to enhance the dignity and autonomy of older adults, rather than alienating or overwhelming them? By harnessing technology thoughtfully, we can improve quality of life and expand the possibilities for how older adults engage with the world. Conclusion: embracing the aging society. As we've explored the impacts of aging populations, one thing stands out. This demographic shift is not just a challenge, it's a doorway to positive transformation in global societies. By valuing the contributions of older adults, fostering intergenerational relationships, and embracing innovation, we can create a society that is more inclusive, more resilient, and more vibrant. Older adults have a valuable role to play in further enriching our social systems, with a broadening role as active participants in economic and social life, as people who bring unique skills, knowledge, and perspectives that can benefit society at every level. What would a world look like where age is seen increasingly as an asset? How might we design systems, economic, social, and political, that fully embrace the potential of aging populations? We invite you to consider this question. How do you see aging transforming your community, and what can we do to ensure that every generation benefits from this shift? Thank you for joining us in this exploration of the aging population. If you found this documentary insightful, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that challenges the way we think about our world. Until next time, keep questioning and keep learning.